SpaceX's Starship flight test number 8 has been postponed a few days, and there's some reasons for this. We're going to go over some other cool stuff that's happening with Starship and at Starbase over the last 24 hours. Now, I want to start off with a tweet from SpaceX. It says, now targeting to launch Starship's 8th flight test as soon as Wednesday, March 5th. Now, they stood down about 40 seconds before the launch attempt last night. And the reason for that is because there were some anomalies in the booster and in the ship too. And Elon Musk actually tweeted something. He said, too many question marks about this flight. And then we were 20 bars below on ground spin start pressure. Best to destack, inspect both stages, and try again in a day or two. And that's exactly what they did. According to Lab Padre, you can see here on this time lapse, they took the ship off the top of the booster. They're moving it down to the ground so they can inspect it. And also, they'll restack it, get it ready for flight. What they used to do is they used to stack this up, do a fit test, and then wet dress rehearse everything like a day or two before the actual flight. They don't do that anymore. They just stack it and they go, okay, we have a pretty good idea that this is going to work. So let's just go through everything. And if it doesn't work, we're going to scrub the launch for the day. We're going to figure out what's wrong with it. And then we're going to put systems in place that will fix that issue. Now, mind you, at the 40-second hold, they were doing everything they could to get back on track for the booster to be in a good place and the ship to be in a good place to launch it on time yesterday. That didn't happen, though. They found out that there were a few anomalies in the booster and in the ship, that they actually had to unstack the whole 400-foot tall rocket and do some tests and reconfigure some things in order for it to fly again on the 5th. Now, that being said, it does take them a while to destack this. This was a time lapse, mind you, and it will take a little while for them to restack this, fit check it, go through every pre-flight check that they can do before they actually load this thing back up again and get it ready for flight. Now, flight day is important down on the ground, but also the weather is important too. What's up in the sky? What's down range? Because when you go down range, you have to make sure that the booster can come back uninterrupted to the launch site. Now, Echo 5556, that's Parallax Space 55, says, as promised, a deeper breakdown. 11 to 15 mile an hour winds, gusting at 14 to 20 miles an hour. That's in the range. That's really good for a Starship launch. No clouds should be in the area at liftoff. Also, a high pressure should move into the region to calm the winds and prevent any cloud cover. However, some models like the NAM don't show this. Now, this is really great news for SpaceX, really great news for Starship, and really great news for everybody who's wanting to watch this flight number 8. They're going to be doing some really cool things. The first ever Starlink deployment into suborbital trajectory. There will be 4 of those, and they'll eventually burn up into the Earth's atmosphere, and we won't see any sort of data from them after that, but they will be getting data because they're dummy Starlink satellites. They'll be getting data from those Starlink satellites because the next flight, flight number 9, they may actually launch real Starlink satellites. If this goes well, they could potentially launch 20 Starlink satellites as a test next time, because 4 now, if they all work great, then 20 next time, not that big of a deal for SpaceX. If everything works as planned, they might as well go for it, right? Now, we have to take a look also what's going on with Starship's 8th flight test. 8th flight test of Starship is preparing to launch as soon as March 5th on Wednesday. The launch window will open at 5:30 p.m. That's the same time as last time. And after completing the investigation into the loss of Starship early on its 7th flight, several hardware and operational changes have been made to increase reliability of the upper stage. We don't really see that reliability yet because it hasn't flown, but down on the ground, the reliability to actually launch this thing isn't quite there yet. But they will hopefully have it done by Wednesday, March 5th at 5:30 p.m. CT, and everything will be ready to fly in that time frame. Now, down here they go on to say at about, 7 minutes out, flight test timeline, super heavy landing burn, Starship engine cutoff, payload deploy demo, 17 minutes and 24 seconds. Watch out for this one. That's going to be the most exciting part of this flight, because not only is the launch exciting, and if you're there, the launch is exciting, but then when the booster comes back and it gets caught, that's very exciting. But 17 minutes, 24 seconds in, check out the payload deploy demo. That's the 4 Starlink satellites that I was talking about. And if this works, this opens up, this is kind of a cheat code for Starship, because if they can deploy hundreds of Starlink satellites per month, their coverage for Starlink will be worldwide in this net of internet, I guess. The satellite internet will be complete sooner than later. And they could start charging people and just basically print money. They're going to be printing money with Starlink. They already make a profit from Starlink. So in the future, when they continue to roll out new deployments of Starlink, it's going to be printing money for Starship development, because not only are they're a privately held company, but everybody in that company wants to see SpaceX, and you and I want to see this too. We want to see them go to Mars, and they need hundreds of billions of dollars to do that, because they need to make the hardware that's capable of going to Mars, but they also have to human rate this hardware, because if they don't human rate this, why would they go to Mars? We get to send rovers and robots on other ships and other rockets. So SpaceX is doing the right thing. They figured out kind of the cheat code in order to make a ton of money so they can launch these things. So get ready for this launch. It will be at 5:30 p.m. Central. Now, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, there's about 20% of you that are subscribed to the channel, and the rest of you watch numerous videos, never subscribe. So about 20, it's like a 20-80 split. Never subscribe. So I just ask you for a quick favor. If you hit the subscribe button or the follow button wherever you're watching this or listening to this, I would greatly appreciate it. And also, my promise to you is that I will continue to make Starship, SpaceX, and spaceflight videos for the foreseeable future. I've been doing it for 4 years straight. So I actually moved down to Starbase in Texas because of this channel, because of you. So I will continue to create videos for you every single day if possible. That's my commitment to you if you hit the subscribe button right now. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in the next one.